the net like Kobe Bryant, but to fight through our rough teenagers. He always understood us deep to our hearts and supported us to become a stronger individual. He always made us laugh and motivated us to be active with encouragement, although he always motivated us to be active with encouragement, although he always sent us to encouragement room very often and catch us doing stupid things. Now I think about it, he was a very strict teacher. But I guess that's why his spot felt much, enormous, and hollow. We grade 12s truly believe that he represented our joyful moments and all the teachers who were with us. Thank you, Mr. Matt. Please come up to the stage.
Thank you, Zaid, for those kind words. And thank you for inviting me here to speak today. I'm very honored to be here to join you in celebrating this wonderful occasion. I've had the honor of teaching a lot of you since grade 7 up to 11, and even the ones that I didn't teach, I remember seeing even some of your faces when you're at WCA at some sports competitions as well. I was asking myself, should I even be the one up to come here and speak to you guys today? I could stand in front of a class of students and teach no problem, but I find I know it's a little ironic being a teacher that I actually fear public speaking. So if I look a little nervous up here today, it's because I am. I think I've mentioned this to the students before that I don't like talking in big groups, people, and I think they remember this, and I think that's why they asked me to be the guest speaker. I think it's revenge for getting them to do the home fitness program all those years, all the push-ups, sit-ups, and burpees. If that is what your thinking was for getting me to be the guest speaker, well, you got your revenge. First of all, congratulations to you all. You should be very, very proud of yourselves for accomplishing this goal of graduating high school. Well done. I know you must all be excited to officially finish with school and get out on your own, start university, and get out of your parents' house. I'm sure your parents are also looking forward to you guys getting out of the house as well, right, parents? To the families of those graduating and earning their high school diplomas, congratulations to you, and you should know that your support through all these years have made an enormous impact on your child or children. I'm sure you're very proud of your children as they complete this chapter in their life and move on to the next one in university. Graduates, please give your parents a round of applause for all the support, time, money for tuition, and love. Today I'm going to share a little story that some of them might have heard little bits of it while in my health classes. But the story is about a young boy. He was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. His father was in the military, and almost immediately they moved right after birth to Colorado Springs, USA, as many military families tend to move around a lot. When the boy is 4 years old, his parents got divorced, and the boy, his mom, and his sister moved back to London, Ontario, Canada. With very little money, the boy's family had to live in low-income housing in a very bad neighborhood. The neighborhood was filled with drugs, gangs, and violence. Many things around this young boy could have easily influenced or pressured him to do bad things. Luckily for this boy, he had amazing parents that instilled good morals and values in him at a young age, and a specific teacher that he had from grade 5 to 8 that took the time after school, keeping him and other kids in the neighborhood active in sports and athletics to keep them away from the bad crowd. The teacher made a huge impact on the life of this boy and others through having a kind and caring heart and by teaching him sports. Sports taught this boy all about teamwork, leadership, resilience, discipline, respect, friendship, and overcoming adversity. If you haven't figured out by now, the boy in the story is me. The impact that this very special teacher had on my life set me on the path to be wanting to become a teacher myself. And not just any teacher, a PE teacher, much like the man that was a role model to me growing up. In grade 8, I knew that I wanted to have the same impact on others as he had on me, and I decided I'd go to university to become an educator too. The path to achieving this dream of being a teacher was not an easy one, and there were many obstacles that came before me to try to deter me from going forward. First of all, I was a straight A student from elementary school up to grade 10. Then something really drastic happened that changed my life. I got my first girlfriend. We lived on opposite sides of the city, but I was young and in love, and I sacrificed my studying time to spend much of my time with her as possible. Then my grades started to drop the next couple of years due to me not managing my time very well. By the time I was to graduate, my grades dropped just below the minimum average needed to get accepted into university. I was no longer eligible to get into university with the grades that I had at the time. I was devastated and I felt like a complete failure for allowing this to happen, even though it was all my fault. So what was I going to do with my life now? I decided that I would go to college to take up computers. After a year, I wasn't liking what I was studying. My heart was in education, not computers. I wanted to help others and have an impact on their lives as my old elementary school teacher did for me. So I decided that I was going to do whatever it took to get into university. I talked to the school counselors and asked what I needed to do in order to get into university from college. They told me I had to spend one more year in college, taking a general arts and science courses, and achieve a 90% average. The thought of spending another year in college and achieving those grades was really hard to fathom at the time, but I was determined to achieve my dream. So I gave up on computers and I studied like I never studied before in order to get the grades needed for university. A year later, I felt overjoyed when I achieved the necessary grades and got my acceptance letter for university. As I mentioned earlier, I did not have a lot of money growing up. I had a single mom taking care of 2 children, so there was no way for her to help me pay for my university. I would have to do it on my own, getting a student loan, which I knew would likely take me 10 to 15 years to pay back. This obstacle wasn't going to step in my way. I borrowed the money from the government anyway, knowing that this was what was needed to achieve my dream. 7 years of post-secondary school and a lot of money borrowed later, I finally achieved my goal and became a certified teacher. Now I'm here today living out my dream. There is one word that might describe the theme of the story that I just shared. If there's anything that you take from what I'm saying to you today and use in your future, I hope you remember this word: perseverance. Perseverance is the persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success.